All right, what's going on, YouTube? It's Drew Lefty NDV10. I finally figured I'd make my national recap video after all the influencers and everybody else did all their clogging up the subscriptions feed for the last 2 weeks. And hey, thanks for all the engagement on my last few videos of my grading reveals. I've really enjoyed all the comments and thoughts, and yeah, so please keep it up. Great show. Obviously, it's overwhelming, the size of the show. So I'll kind of give my brief thoughts on that. Special thanks to Scott and Max letting me shack up with them for a few days. Got there on Wednesday. Never in my life have I ever seen any crowd like this. Typically on like Wednesday, I can just walk right up to the will call, get my VIP pass or whatever pass, and then just, kind of walk right into the show. But if you were in the VIP line to get your pass on Wednesday, it was legitimately, I would say, a mile long, no exaggeration. If you're familiar with Rosemont, it went from inside the center upstairs out all the way down the corridor, across the road, across the Sky Bridge, hang a left, go into the parking garage, and that's where it started. So we were in that line about an hour and a half, 2 hours on Wednesday. So did we get into the show before the general admissions? No, it was crazy. But I saw, the subsequent days, the general admission line just crazy, crazy out the door. Amazing show overall. Love the amount of tables. Is it too big? I don't know, maybe. Who am I to say? I mean, there was a whole space upstairs where they had the aisles were 3 feet wide, and then there was a football field you had to walk across to get there. So I don't know why those weren't spread out a little bit more. I understand they were like half price tables, but it was just really kind of dumb. And I've never wanted to call a fire marshal before, but it really crossed my mind when I was up there. I mean, it was nuts, absolutely nuts, up on that second floor. But great show. Honestly, had pretty good interactions overall with most of the dealers. I'm pretty simple. If you don't have your cards priced and I ask you for a price and you start having to look up or act like it's a big deal, I'm just gonna walk away. I'm not gonna waste my time with some grouchy dude looking at a Beckett or something like that. Just not really how I roll. There's thousands of tables. I've got a limited amount of time. So I would say to any dealer watching, price your cards. It's easier to negotiate, or for me to even not bother you to get up out of your chair if your cards are priced, because I can easily walk by. Again, I'm also not one to make an offer. If a card is worth $500 and you got it priced at $950, I'm not even going to look at that card personally, because I'm not going to offer you $400 for you to counter me at $800 and then us settle. I'm not doing that. Not how I go. I know that might work in the modern card section, but man, I'm collecting 150-year-old cards. Not something I'm interested in. So amazing show. Walked in first day. Enough of me rambling. This was the first card that I bought. It's an Adios Sovereign pitching pose. Really great combo. Love this back. Love this card. This was one of the very first T206 that I ever bought with some high school graduation money back in 2010, if that tells you how old I am. So I've still got it. It's got a pinhole up top and it's a polar bear. Anyways, I paid $350 for this. I had it stickered at $400. I paid $350. This was a great buy. I actually already sold my common back version of this card for more than I paid for this. So that was a great addition day one of the show. I also picked up a mega huge non-sport card that I dropped off to SGC at the show, which was probably it was my second biggest pickup at the show. But yeah, so I'll show that in a later video. So that was a great buy. Then I got this card from Sonny. I had bought it from him well before the show. Just told him to bring it. No need to ship it. If it wasn't a big deal, you could just bring it to the show. It's a Johnny Bates for my back run EPDG. Really fun combo there. Love that. Cork tip cigarettes. Very cool. Johnny Bates. I think I'm just missing the Hindu for that card and then some of the Sweet Cat variations, and I'd be done with it. I got this from Jay. Did a little trade with him for some modern stuff I had laying around. Claude Ritchie. This is a Print Group 1 Old Mill. Funny story about this card. Not really this one in particular, but this pose. there are some bozos out there who think that this is like a different variation. If you'll see what I'm talking about on the right there, I should have grabbed another one up. You know what? Just for the sake of time, I've already got a captive audience. You either care about this nerdy stuff or you don't. So let me grab one of these. All right, perfect example. So guy has one of these sitting in the case, literally just like this, and he's like, "This is an error, $500, Dove in Sky." And then Rabbit Saturday has another card, same pose, and he's like, "Yep, that's the correct version. This is the error." And if you know anything about these, you can just tell that this is a 150. Yep, 150 print series. This one here with this dove action, they call it, is on every single 350 Richie that I've ever seen. Or, I'm sorry, every card printed in 1910, which is the 350 series, which is the Old Mill. But that was still a great pickup from Jay. He's a Print Group 1 Old Mill, very tough card. Very happy to get that. Thank you, Jay. Then we walked over to a table. Guy had just a billion Tolstoy. I don't know how these made it to like day 2 of the show. But me and Scott and our buddy Tim, who's a huge Cubs collector, and Max and Vince, we pretty much wiped this dude out of all his great Tolstoys. Great dealer. He's at all the big shows. I've seen him over the years. Really tough card for Cecil Ferguson. I think I just need a polar bear for him and I'm done with his run. Maybe one of the sweet caps, but Tolstoy, very tough combo. And this is an amazing 2, by the way, which is like PSA's MO lately. Like this would have been a 3 forever until like a year and a half ago. And they started saying, no, that's a 2. But this is just a great combo. Love that. Then I did a trade with James, Elite Hunters. I walked over to his table, traded an Eddie Seacott for a really beautiful, and this is like the nicest 1954 Warren Spawn 7 I've ever seen. I do have a registry of Spawn. This is one Max said, I don't know how you didn't have that card already. Me either, but this is a perfect one. So it was great to do a little trade with him. Thank you so much, sir. That was great talking with you again, and thanks for the pickup. This is a great card for my Warren Spawn registry. I'm missing very few Topps cards for him now, like maybe just one. Then I did kind of a blind trade with Tim. He handed me this, that's putting it lightly, and just said, send me Cubs. This is an absurd card to do a blind trade on, so I've got something up my sleeve for him, but it's a 1914 Cracker Jack. Johnny Evers, you'll notice down there, he is a Brave, and they won the World Series in 1914. So I'm working on this set. It's only 5 cards, I think, Cracker Jack 1914 for the Braves. Got a lot of guys in 15 after they won the World Series, but these 14s are just so tough. And the Braves, of course, are like some of the toughest, literally in every single pre-war set ever, for no reason. The Braves are like short prints in all of them. But this is a great card. This one's not insanely tough, but I was really happy to have it. Really easy, quick way to tell if you're kind of new to Cracker Jacks. You can easily tell the 14 by 15s. That quickest way is just 15s are flipped upside down on the back. So this text, it's completely flipped. The numbers will be down here. But yeah, and then of course, my biggest card was the Maggie, but I did a whole video on that. So I will not bore you guys again. But yeah, I met so many great tubers and friends at the show. Too many to name, truly. I don't want to leave anybody out, but honestly, like I go to the show for the friends, the people, number 1. Food, number 2. Got some great food. Johnny's Beef, man, knocked it out of the park. Paradise Pup, one of the best burgers I've ever had. Went to Portillo's for a cake shake and had some good pizza along the way at Moretti's. Some other pizza at Lou Malnati's. Yeah, so that was it. And then cards are third, like no joke. I didn't expect to pick up, really anything, but here we are. That's my 2025 National Recap. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.